Morning, everybody. I apologize for us running a little bit behind schedule. Obviously had a lot going on. Just want to start by thanking all these local and state partners and Congressman Carter for being with us here today. I just want to start by expressing our thoughts and prayers to the one loss of life we had in the family in Moultrie, Georgia. Just really a tragic part of this storm with a tree falling on a home and a 19-year-old kid losing his life. So we'll continue to keep him in our thoughts and prayers. I just want to thank Lieutenant Governor Jones and Speaker Burns for being with us today, the members of the General Assembly, from especially the local legislators that are here with us, and their support for so many executive branch agencies that I'll mention here in a minute that have been able to respond very quickly to Tropical Storm Debby. It's because of their support in the budget that we have the resources that we need to be able to respond quickly and bring deployment to local communities, and certainly want to thank the local leaders that are here with us. Obviously, Director Stallings and his team at GEMA, which will give you a quick update after me. General Wilson and the Georgia National Guard, we've had up to 300 people deployed in all areas of need in this local area. Colonel Hitchens, who's here with us today, in the Department of Public Safety, the Department of Transportation, the Department of Natural Resources, many of their folks are with us, the Georgia Forestry Commission, Commissioner Tyler Harper and his team at the Department of Agriculture. I know they've been on the ground down here, but also have been embedded with us at the State Operations Center in Atlanta. We certainly appreciate him. Our Insurance Commissioner, John King, our Attorney General, Chris Carr. I mentioned Representative Buddy Carter, who's also with us. We just want to extend a note of gratitude to all the local officials and emergency management personnel, first responders, and certainly our private sector partners, especially our electric membership corporations and Georgia Power workers who have been working tirelessly to get power restored in the affected areas. Thankfully, Debby is no longer a tropical storm. It's now a tropical depression. Even though the rain it brought is no longer falling here in Georgia, our rivers, lakes, and other bodies of water are still cresting in certain areas. So this is certainly still an active situation. Debby, as you know, dropped over a foot of water on much of south and coastal Georgia, including 11.9 inches here in Chatham County. The storm itself is behind us, but the road to recovery is certainly not. Everyone here and many others throughout the state will be with the communities like this one in support until that recovery is complete. Just to recap the state action that we've taken, we activated the State Operations Center over the weekend, which allowed us to, or activated the state of emergency and the State Activation Center over the weekend, which allowed us to move resources ahead of the storm, making a big difference to the speed of response. We issued the state of emergency Saturday, making state resources available to local governments in the impacted area. Issued an additional executive order on Monday, enabling the Georgia National Guard to call up troops, and I approved pre-positioning of close to 300 guardsmen in strategic areas. Also asked FEMA Monday to grant us a pre-impact emergency declaration to further help get resources where they needed to go. Which was approved. I want to again thank Congressman Carter and all of his colleagues from our congressional delegation who all signed support for that declaration request. And then again on Wednesday, I extended the state of emergency until next Thursday, the 15th. So just a few quick updates on the Department of Defense. Colonel Simmons and the Georgia National Guard have been working certainly with the counties for the most part on their response. That's Army and Air Guard. They've done a lot of debris and route clearing, and also had high water vehicles ready to help get supplies to affected areas or get individuals out of those areas. On the road and dam situation, we've had 8 dam breaches, 4 in Bullock County alone, which we saw today on our tour. We currently have 1 state route closed in Tattnall County. We have other roads that have been closed, one going through Fort Stewart, part of US 17 at the Bryan-Chatham County line because of a bridge issue, Millen, we've got another bridge issue there, but we believe it's close to being open, and DOT has inspected over 118 bridges. We also have one in Bullitt County that's going to take extensive repairs, so we'll continue to work on getting that fixed as quickly as possible and have 4 other closed at this point. For Swiftwater resources or rescues, state resources, and we also had the help, and I want to just thank the elected leaders in Perry, Georgia and Columbus, Georgia for sending Swiftwater rescue teams along with our state rescue teams. We've done 24 missions. We moved 28 people and 6 animals. Several of those individuals had developmental disabilities, and so we certainly appreciate those first responders' efforts. At one point, we had up to 7 shelters open with 142 people in those shelters. Currently, we have 4 shelters open with 42 individuals in there. I want to also thank the American Red Cross for helping us get the shelters open and for their response. On the agribusiness, agriculture, crop situation, Commissioner Harper's here with us. He'd be glad to speak individually if you want more information. But we've really had damage across a lot of different sectors that he can talk to you about. Really devastating for our farm families that were affected by this. His main message to everyone is to make sure, if you're an affected farmer or agribusiness person, make sure and document exactly what happened, exactly what the effects are on your individual farm. It is hard to get relief if we don't have the proper documentation. But again, Commissioner Harper's here, can answer questions when we wrap up. Griff and the Port of Savannah, Port of Brunswick team is with us. They were down for 1 day on Tuesday. They're fully operational now. Probably take a week or 2 to get back to normal. There's about 10 ships that are backed up, but they've been doing an incredible job, and I want to thank the U.S. Coast Guard for working with us to get the port back open so quickly. On the utility front, at our peak, we had over 138,000, around 138,000 power outages. We're down to 1,156 right now. So I just want to again thank our EMC partners, our utility partners, and Georgia Power for their incredible work, literally coming in right after the first part of the storm passed to start restoring power around the Valdosta area, and they continue to work as we speak. On school closures, at one point we had 59 schools closed. We still have 13, and we're continuing to monitor that. So with that, I'm going to stop, turn it over to Director Stallings, and then you'll hear from a couple of other folks, and we'll take your questions. Thank you, Director.
Thank you, Governor. I can't express thanks enough to Governor Kemp, his team, and the First Lady for their quick response and action by executing the state of emergency. As he mentioned, it allowed us to immediately go to a level 1 activation. Currently, our state operation is at a level 2 where we're monitoring, but we're trying to get out on the field more. We've reached that point in the disaster where a response is beginning to wane, and we're going to move quickly into recovery. As we all know, everybody who's been impacted by this storm wants some closure on this storm, and so we're going to work diligently to get there. As the governor mentioned, the emergency declaration he requested was approved. That was for 55 counties, and that allowed us to offset the cost of those immediate needs, those sheltering and emergency rescue operations that went into that. I can't thank those local communities enough that sent resources, as the governor mentioned, Perry and Columbus, for their rapid response. By them being there, that allowed us to get in and save a lot of lives, remove a lot of folks, and keep the death toll, unfortunately, at 1. Could have been a lot worse, but thanks to the rapid deployment of resources, I think we were able to get in front of it. I'm also extremely appreciative of the community that was impacted. One of the things that sometimes can get in the way, unfortunately, is those that have been impacted. So by heeding the warnings to stay out of those don't drive, turn around situations, listening to those warnings about evacuation, paying close attention to trusted sources, you were able to assist in allowing us to get in there and work. I'm extremely appreciative of our DoD partners. As mentioned by the governor, they were in there helping. One dam that was close to breaching was on Eureka Road here at Mildren Mill Pond. They've moved over 300 tons of debris and to close off that, so we're extremely appreciative of the hard work that they've done. Throughout this mission, we've had a lot of air operations, including drone teams. So if you've seen us flying around, please forgive us. We were just making sure you were okay and that you didn't need to be rescued. Unfortunately, a lot of times that's the only way we can find you, and it's through those resources that we can use. A couple final points I want to make is that we still got a long way ahead of us. Some of our rivers are still cresting. So if you're near a body of water, pay close attention. They can rise, and they'll rise rapidly. For more information about that and how you can plan for that, you can go to gema.georgia.gov. We have a lot of resources there about rapid deployment and quick response to surviving a rapid flood instance. With that, I want to turn it over to Speaker Burns for some additional comments. Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Director, and good evening. I want to thank my colleagues here from Southeast Georgia, Representative Jackson from here in Savannah, Parrish and Franklin from Bullock County. We appreciate you guys responding to your constituents and to the needs here. I know you'll be there for them as time goes on, so we very much appreciate that. We also want to express our condolences and extend our condolences to the loss of life with the family down in Moultrie. Certainly our prayers will be with them and certainly with others who suffered loss, whether it be property loss or certainly any injury that may have occurred because of this natural phenomenon that we've just experienced with Debbie. I especially want to thank our first responders, our neighbors that help neighbors helping neighbors. I've heard so many examples of that, and certainly that have extended that assistance from first responders and those others from the professional level that have helped each other through this crisis, and we appreciate them. I want to thank Lieutenant Governor Jones and Attorney General Carr, who's been active, and certainly as he will be and has been, Commissioner King will certainly be a big part of this. Commissioner Harper, we know that Georgia's #1 industry is agriculture, and there's been a severe impact in agriculture here in these local counties in Southeast Georgia and across the state. Our efforts will be to be with them, to offer our support to them, and continue as time goes on as we realize the exact amount of damage. I want to especially thank those partners that were mentioned, but I want to especially reach out to GDOT. GDOT was on the scene at Lake Eureka up at Newington in Screven County, and that's what prevented that dam breach. So thanks to DOT and what they've done there, but all of our great partners, DNR, but especially GEMA and everything that you continue to do, Mr. Director. We appreciate what you do. We appreciate what utilities in our state are doing to restore power. I also want to thank the media for you being here today, and thanks for the part you play in informing our neighbors. I've watched the television and the coverage here on the storm coming in, making sure that our folks had warning and what they should be prepared for. So thank you very much for that, and certainly continue to help us get the message out. As the governor just mentioned, that we need to make sure all of these things are documented in the best way we can. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank the First Lady, Marty Kemp, for her always thinking about the people of Georgia and what she does. And I want to thank my wife, Dale, who's been on the phone with our neighbors. But I especially want to thank the man who's offered leadership to our state in so many different ways. Governor, being proactive in making sure that the people of this state, the disaster was declared, and reaching out to our federal partners to make sure our people are taken care of. I can't tell you how much myself and my neighbors and the people of Southeast Georgia appreciate that. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the Lieutenant Governor of this state, Burt Jones. Governor.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I think you summed it up pretty well right there. I'd like to echo every sentiment the Speaker had. I know this is part of his backyard, and he was obviously very concerned about everything going on today. I too want to recognize Governor Kemp and his proactive leadership in declaring this an emergency before the storm actually hit. Because of his actions on the front end, I think it helped us avoid a lot worse situation than what we could have had. So thank you, Governor, for that. I want to thank, I know I have some Senate members here today that this has impacted a lot of their districts. I saw Senator Max Burns, Ben Watson, Billy Hickman, and also Senator Derek Mallow here today. Just want to thank them for all their feedback and everything. And Director Stallings is doing a wonderful job in addressing the issues that are going on the ground. obviously Agriculture Minister Tyler Harper as well is in touch with all of our local farmers and everything that have been impacted by this. So and all for all our first responders and in our local and governments, we appreciate y'all as well. So but greatly appreciate, like I said again, can't express enough the governor and his being proactive on this issue and making the best of a bad situation. So thank you, Governor, and I'll turn my time over to Congressman Buddy Carter.
Thank you. Well, thank y'all very much. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Governor and First Lady for being here and all the state leaders who are here. Folks, what you're witnessing here is what cooperation and coordination, the results of that and the benefit of that. We've got state leaders here, we've got local leaders here. All during this process, they've worked together, making sure we're all on the same page. And as a result of that, we're going to recover from this. I know it's tough for some people right now, but we are going to recover. I especially want to thank the governor for his letter to the president and his request to have this area, certain areas in our state, declared for an emergency declaration. That was very important, a very proactive step. I want to thank my colleagues who signed the letter that I led, also my congressional colleagues, encouraging the president to sign that emergency declaration, and I want to thank the president for signing it. It is in effect now, and that's very important. Again, I want to thank all of those who have had a part in this, all of the emergency management personnel who have come together, whether it be here in Chatham County, and certainly Chatham County is a case study of how it should be done. I want to thank them for that, but all throughout the 1st Congressional District, whether it be in Glenn County or Ware County, Camden County, Wayne County, all of them have come together, working together to make sure that the needs of our citizens are met. Folks, this is not over. We've got a recovery period to go through. I want everyone to stay vigilant. Make sure that you follow the directions that are being given. Make sure that you're working together. And please be careful. And remember, we're not out of the woods yet. We're still in the midst of the hurricane season. This may not be the last dance we have this year. So let's keep that in mind. And for those who have lost property, and particularly for the family who lost a 19-year-old in the prime of their life, we certainly keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Finally, I want to thank the media. You've done a great job in covering this, and that's vitally important. Also, AM radio, emergency broadcast system is very important. That's why we're working in Congress to make sure we keep AM radio in business. So thank y'all all. Again, this is not over with now. The federal government's going to be there, whether it be FEMA, USDA, SBA. We're going to be there. We got a lot of work ahead of us, but we're going to get it done. So thank y'all again.
Well, thank you, Congressman and Lieutenant Governor Jones, Speaker Burns, Director Stallings, and with that, we got, like you know, a lot of local elected officials here. Commissioner Harper and myself will be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Governor, two questions. Number one, folks that don't have flood insurance and have been affected by this, what help is there for them? And number two, what do you anticipate the cost will be in the end?
Yeah, hard to say on the cost front right now. I mean, that's what we're doing on the ground. It's what Commissioner Harper will be working on. It's what Director Stallings will be working on. I would tell people that are having insurance issues to just reach out to the Georgia Department of Insurance and Commissioner John King's office. Chris, I don't know if you have anything else you want to.
Individual assistance, we'll be looking into that for a federal declaration.
Yeah, and there will be individual assistance being looked into that as part of the federal declaration.
Governor Kemp, I wonder if you could talk about the trip that you just took flying over the affected areas. What did you see? What were you thinking as you were witnessing all of that?
Yeah, it was, it was really good to see it kind of in person from the helicopters because we could get fairly close to several of the lakes that were having issues, and we saw crews working on one to continue to hold that dam and make sure we don't have another breach more than the ones that we've already had. We saw some of the drainage effects we've seen in agriculture fields, roadways that still have standing water on them. You know, we could see a lot of that from the State Operations Center over the couple of times that I was there with the helicopters we had up and the cameras and other people that were on the ground. So we were well aware of what was going on. I would just say there's a lot of water on the ground. And I think, you know, a picture does not do justice what people are dealing with. When you look at an area that was flooded and has thankfully receded a little bit, and the damage that was caused in those homes. That's a miserable experience for people to go through, and we understand that, and that's why we're going to stay committed to trying to help the area however we can with our response, but then also on any declarations that won't be covered by their homeowner's insurance. Well,
as far as that federal assistance is concerned, do you have a timeline on when that could be official?
You want to speak to that? Yeah.
Yes, sir. So what the process becomes now is us doing what's called preliminary damage assessments. We have to wait for the water to recede. We don't know what's under those water levels. Based on what NOAA is predicting, we should see that those receding waters start tomorrow through Sunday. And as they drop, we have plans in place for our teams to start Monday morning first thing, going out and working with our local partners, our local emergency managers, to ensure that we're responding appropriately. From there, when we see what we need to see, we'll call in our FEMA partners. I would say that timeline looks like it'll be middle of next week, that our FEMA partners will be on the ground with us doing those damage assessments. And then immediately once that information is gathered, we'll give that to the governor's office so they can make that declaration request. Typically from there, it's up to them to turn it from there.
Speaker Burns wanted to make sure we recognized Representative Hitchens is also,
and Stevens,
and Representative Ron Stevens. Commissioner Harper's going to address the federal declaration question too on the ag side.
Thank you, Governor. First off, I just want to say to the Governor, thank you to him and the First Lady. I know this is for the first time ever we put together a animal search and rescue, companion animal search and rescue team. It's a partnership between the Department of Agriculture and other private entities, and I appreciate her passion in that area and our work together in that. And I want to just echo some of the comments made, Governor. Thank you. As soon as this started, the governor and his team were reaching out to our team, wanting to know how it was impacting our farmers and our ag industry across the state. And I can't think of a better partner, Governor, than to have you. And I appreciate our partnership and our work together through this, because we still got a lot to go. As has been said, the governor already mentioned document. That's key in the ag sector. We got to understand what has happened, making sure they've contacted their insurance agents as well as FSA. That information will help us with those federal disaster declarations that the governor and I and others can work on from the federal government to get some of that assistance from our friends on the federal level. It also gives us that information we can use to go to our friends like Congressman Carter and others and our congressional delegation to hopefully get some other additional assistance to address the issues we've seen. As far as ag sector, we're probably looking at upwards of about 50% of loss in our tobacco crop. We're looking at, we have significant fields that some are still underwater. We've seen peanuts washed out of fields. We have a lot of water still out there, which will cause a lot of disease pressure. So some of the damage that our farmers are going to see are still yet to be seen. I know our partners at DOT and our local governments are working hard to fix our roads and bridges, but obviously we're willing to help in any way we can, because access to those fields is critically important too. We've seen we had some poultry houses that were completely flooded, and we lost a lot of chickens in that. We've also had some cattle that were lost in some pastures due to some floodwaters. So we've seen some significant concerns in ag across all commodities, but it's key that we document those so we have that information, so we can provide that information to our friends on the federal level to get the needed assistance to help our farmers and our farm families through this. Our team is on the ground. We're here to help in any way that we can. The Department of Agriculture, in partnership with all of our partners, we're really appreciative of the partnership that we have with Director Stallings, with GEMA, and others, and look forward to ways that we can continue to ensure that all Georgians are able to get through this storm and get through these recovery efforts. Again, Governor, I can't thank you enough for your partnership and your work on this and your caring for the ag community. Thank you.
One last question.
Governor, I've been in Bullitt County all week. I have seen the devastation firsthand that you just saw flying over. I wonder what your message is, not only to the residents of Bullitt, but others that are being affected by this. What do you want to say?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting for a storm that really came across, this from Valdosta really to Savannah. The northern counties really took the brunt of this from a water event, rain event. and certainly Bullitt County is one of those with the dam failures, the issues with roads, a lot of the other rural county roads that are just a mess right now. And you know, my message to them is that we're going to be here as long as it takes. Director Stallings, all of our state resources, Georgia Department of Transportation, we'll continue to work with the local elected officials. And I would just tell individuals if they're having issues and they don't know who to ask a question to reach out to your local emergency management agency. They know how to filter things up to GEMA, which we can coordinate, you know, federal response, state response, different requests, and we're just going to stick with this community, as Congressman Carter said, as long as we need to. So thank you guys for being with us.
Good job.